everyone, I'm Ashley. Welcome to my kitchen. That sounded so ridiculous, but here we go. We're going to talk about Isomalt and what you need to make really clear breakaway glass using Isomalt, a beet sugar substitute. So, first things first, there are 3 parts of the process. So, you are going to cook your sugar down, and then you are going to put it in the oven and you're going to cure it, and then you're going to pour it into a mold. So let's talk about what you need for each of those 3 steps. First things first, you need a stove. You need a stovetop burners, and you also need an oven for the second part, for the curing process. We'll talk about it in a second. First part, cooking. Stainless steel is your best friend. It does not retain impurities like non-stick cooking pans can, and you really want to make sure that if you are going to be doing this over and over again, you buy a pan. This is the pan, this is the pot, that's all that goes in here is Isomalt, so you don't have dirt or debris or other impurities leaching into your sugar, because what we really want is a nice clean product. Also, throughout this whole process, clean. Everything wants to be super clean. So I'm just going to say that at the top. I'll say it again. Clean. Clean as you go. Make sure everything is scrubbed out. Make sure everything is washed with soapy water. Everything is super clean. So you also want a lid. Just, because sometimes the sugar pops. I like a lid. Cool. So you can get these, they're kind of cheap. I got a bigger one in case I want to do some bulk stuff, but you do want to give your sugar a little bit of room to move around because it is going to bubble up. So a nice little 4-quart stock pot is a good idea. Moving on, candy thermometer. Just going to let you know when your sugar's ready. Simple, easy, enough said. Also, measuring cups of varying sizes. I got a 1 cup, I got a 2 cup, and then I got this bad mamma jamma 8-quart, or 8 cup, not quart, 8 cup Pyrex. I like the Pyrex. It's heavy duty. You can put it in the oven, which is ideal, and it'll hold heat up to a certain temperature. So that's what we want when we're working with sugar. Things that are going to be really good and durable when we're putting this hot sugar in it. Also, silicone tools. Silicone tools are your best friend. They clean easy. They're non-porous, so we don't have to worry about impurities. Just again, clean, clean, clean. The spatula, self-explanatory, stirring stuff, moving stuff from one vessel to another, spatula. And then this little silicone brush is super great for brushing down the sides of your pot with water so that the bubbles don't get too high. It keeps the sugar at a reasonable, height, so we're not bubbling over. Pro tip. So 2, for the curing process, you will need an oven. I'll give you temperatures and all of that in the next video. Right now we're just talking about equipment and process. You will transfer your sugar from here into a Pyrex of sorts because it's easier to control, easier to manipulate after it cures. You really want to have it a nice cure on the sugar because it eliminates a lot of the bubbles and lets it settle after it's been boiling and bubbling and, becoming liquid form. But I showed you my Pyrex already. So after that is the setting process. So then we're going to set it and pour it into our molds. Depending on what you want to do, silicone, again, best friend with this project. It makes, you can peel away your mold rather than move the sugar glass because it is, it's sugar glass, it's fragile. I got these little guys for the experiments that I'm going to be doing, so I can do some little testers in here. If you are looking to make a mold of, say, a bud vase or a wine glass, go to makeyourownmold.com. They're awesome. They'll send you a kit. It has everything in it. 2-part silicone mold and the the cardboard sleeve, rubber bands, everything you need. It has like the molding putty, and some even send you like the glass to mold from. It's really great. They're awesome. And then you get a nice little mold like this at the end of it. We'll do another video on how to make the molds. But you know, you get a nice clean product from what they're sending you. They're really great and pretty reasonable. And these are super durable. I may have already used this mold about 50 times. So, and it's held up and it's awesome. So look them up, makeyourownmolds.com. They're super great. And then at the end, when you're finished with everything, you're gonna have Isomalt left over. These have been great. This is just a little silicone baking pan. You can pour your Isomalt in here, let it harden, and then reuse it later. Because that's the beauty of Isomalt. You can melt it back down. It's really great. It's super cheap. There you go. Get some of these. They'll save your lives later on. So once you have that, and you have your finished product, you need a place to store it. I really, really, really recommend getting a locking lid storage container. Make sure this one has foam, so it'll help it seal on the inside. This has been the best. We did a bunch of bottles for guys and dolls, and they held up great inside here. I would make sure that you get some kind of, this is damp rid. It's basically just sucks the moisture out because it is sugar. Condensation, wet, anything like that is gonna really mess up your product. So we don't want any melty bottles, right? So throw the damp rid in there, call it a day. It'll save you time later on, I promise. So yeah, and then make sure nobody touches everything. So we're gonna put this down. Things you also might need. Distilled water. Just having a jug of distilled water is great. Because no impurities. You can use your tap water. I'm sure it's fine. I've been using the distilled water to keep everything as super clean as possible. And we're going to do some experimenting here in a bit. Okay? Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please, please, please let me know. Or if you have any tips that I haven't, maybe, please let me know. I'm sorry about the dog. Apparently the mailman's here. Bye.